Today I'm going to present one of our Erasmus projects, and we already have some running projects like this. And the title of this project is "Don't Drop Me Outside." It is about preventing school dropout. And first, let me explain what is Erasmus project. Erasmus Plus program is the EU's program to support education, training, youth, sport in Europe. Erasmus offers mobility and cooperation opportunities in higher education, adult education, vocational education and training, youth, sport, and school education. And our project is in this frame, school education. And it also includes early childhood education and care. And for this project, we got around 260,000 euros from Flemish National Agency, APOS, from Belgium. This project was submitted to the National Agency in Belgium. And another thing, in previous page, Erasmus Plus program is now open for all countries, and it means there is no need to be EU country or program country, and we can do different projects with different countries, and besides Erasmus program countries, EU countries. And for this project, we have partners from Belgium, Turkey, Slovenia, and Portugal. We are totally 8 partners for this project. And the first partner of this project is non-school partners. It means, for example, from Turkey, we are Necmettin Erbakan University, and our partner, local partner for this project is Provincial Directorate of National Education, which is responsible for all kinds of education from preschool till the end of secondary education, including adult education. And the non-school partners are in the side of developing side, and the second ones are, as I mentioned before, school or umbrella organization responsible for education. And what is the aim of this project? General objectives of this project is decreasing the school dropout in the partner countries in a holistic approach by developing education programs for students, online test tools for students and teachers and students, and increasing the teacher competences related to the preventing school dropout and making contribution to the related measure around Europe. First, we should explain the meaning of school dropout. School dropout means leaving school without any degree in any level of education, especially in high school, because of the influences of different reasons. And school dropout happens in, especially happens in high schools, in vocational ones, upper classes, and it is common among boys. And it is one of the most important educational problems of EU and the world, we can say. And there was a target of EU, and the target was to reduce school dropout below 10%. And there are also negative consequences of school dropout. What are these consequences? Those who left the school will be deprived of all the gainings that the education provides individuals. Those who leave the school are much more likely to be unemployed, and they also have to work in low status jobs for less, even if they are employed. The school dropout can cause a depressed mood, suicidal tendency, breaking bonds with society, low self-esteem. The school dropout can cause increase of crime rates and antisocial behaviors, Non-qualified people contribute less to the country's economy. Demand for social assistance increases. Governments have to allocate more resources for social support. More taxes are levied on all citizens for social assistance and other services to be provided to these people. School dropouts are much more likely to engage in illegal activities than graduates. And what is the current situation in Europe? The proportion of early leavers from education and training in the EU in 2019 ranged from 3% in Croatia to 17.3% in Spain. And there are many reasons for school dropout, and we can group these reasons under the three headings. And one of those headings is individual reasons. What are they? Low academic achievement, having low self-esteem and self-confidence. School dropout is more common among boys, as I mentioned before, unable to feel loyalty to school. It means school identification level of those students is really low. School dropout, school burnout, reluctance, school dislike, substance use, having a sexual experience under the age of 15, it is in literature. And the second heading is a family-based reasons, low socioeconomic level, poverty, failure of the family to meet needs, low parental support from the educational point of view, the negative beliefs of the family for their child's success at school, low parental expectation from the child in educational point of view, adoption of adult roles in an early life, considering girls as cheap labor, the belief that education for them is unnecessary as they get married and do not work, fragmented family, problematic relationship among members in the family, existence of physical or sexual violence, high level of general stress in the family, serious family disputes or problems. And there are more reasons, family-based reasons, like high number of family members, to have high number of siblings. The level of education of the parents is at high school level or below this level. The father is unemployed, having parental stories of school dropout, frequent relocation of the family. It happens in Turkey because of the seasonal works. And being a minority, the language used at home differs from the language used at school. And there are also some environmental reasons. The overall average academic achievement of the school is low, and it happens in technical schools mainly. And the fact that the school is very crowded, the number of the male students in the school is high, the number of minority groups are higher than majority, the fact that the school has high number of students who has class repetition, high number of absentees, and suspension penalty. Being member of racial, ethnic, or religious minority groups, low career opportunities provided by the school, communication problems with teachers, having friends with problematic behaviors, having full-time working friends who already left the school. And there are also some characteristics of the students who are at the risk of dropout. Their academic success, motivations, competency beliefs are low, burnout is observed, working habits are not enough, they are absent for a long time, they have problems with their teachers and with their friends, attention deficit, and indications for hyperactivity. So what we promised in this project, we promised to develop 5 output, intellectual output, or let's say product. And what are they? Competence framework for teachers. I will explain it. Teacher school dropout competence test, teacher training program, online school dropout tendency test for the students, education program for the students who has a risk of school dropout. And our first intellectual output is competence framework for teachers. The aim of this output is to define competences like knowledge, skills, attitude, which are necessary for dealing with the students who have school dropout risk or hidden school dropout tendency. The created competence framework will be available in all partners' languages besides English on the project platform. And the second intellectual output is teacher school dropout competence test. Most of the teachers are now not aware of the things that can be done and the competence which are crucial for preventing the school dropout. The aim of this outcome is to define the competences like knowledge, skills, and attitudes which are necessary for dealing with the students who have school dropout risk or hidden school dropout tendency. The test will be available in all partners' languages besides English, and teachers will be able to use this tool as a kind of self-assessment test. And intellectual output 3 is teachers training program. It may be assumed that if teachers' competences, particularly the socio-pedagogical competence, increase, it will reduce absence and dropout rates. It may also be assumed that this competence could be achieved through training programs for teachers. The aim of this outcome is to supply teachers with the necessary competences to tackle the problem. And intellectual output 4, online school dropout tendency test for students. It is important to define common points of the students who are at the risk of school dropout. There are many studies which define common points, but no concrete tools which can detect the students who are at the risk of early school leaving, especially the ones who has hidden school dropout tendency. The evaluations are generally made by the grades of the students and the behaviors of the students at the school, and most are qualitative methods. Creation of quantitative tool for the schools as a practical tool which can detect the students who show school dropout tendencies will help them to create database, and it will support the qualitative methods. And intellectual output 5 is education program for students who has a risk of school dropout. As school dropout prevention programs, we can see some adult mentor programs, as school-based mentors for adults and students targeting several of the core competencies, such as promoting positive adult-youth relationships, a positive connection between the youth and school, and effective decision-making skills. Most of these prevention programs use early interventions as a means of increasing academic engagement and performance. Investing in promoting one single competence will not sufficiently ameliorate the problem of the school failure and dropout. Rather, several competencies should be considered and targeted jointly. Here in this project, we consider a holistic training program showing promising results in promoting skills of the students, which may ensure success in school. Yeah, thank you very much for your participation and for your patience. And I'm also thankful to our colleagues from different countries for their participation to our program.